The equation of y equals 9 minus 4x. Yes? Take it to you. Is you listening? Do I need you to turn off what you have on? You don't need to. Will you close it for me? I don't want to have to do it right again. Okay. Now, that's an equation. It's an equation because it's using y and x. I'm going to take that equation, I'm going to turn it into a function. Okay? You can use the letter f. You can use the letter f to name this function, and then use what we call function notation. Use function notation to express it. I'm sorry that it's all wonky. Okay? Now, to rewrite this, that's my equation, right? Yes? This is the same as what I have right in example 1. What changed? So look at what I have circled and look what I have an arrow drawn to. What changed? Yeah, good. Oh, careful. Look at what's circled and look what the arrow's going to. I got rid of the y and replaced it with, Jordan, what were you going to say? That f and then parentheses x, right? So have I done anything crazy? Okay. All I did is replace the y with a f of x. Here's what the function is. F of x is just a fancy one. Here's what I'm going to do. In Desmond, what's the equation? Y equals 9 minus 4x. 9, y equals 9 minus 4x. Yeah. Y equals 9 minus 4x. What do you see in Desmond? See a line, right? Now, in the next box, in box number 2, press enter. Type in f parentheses x equals 9 minus 4x. What happened? What happened? Do you see 2 lines or do you only see 1? Just 1. So they're the exact same line, right? So here's the deal. This is what I'm getting at. F of x. That's how you read that. You don't say f times x. F of x is just a fancy y. All right? Now, I want to look here. Right here. F of x. That's how you read that. So say f of x. F of x. And f of 2. Now, what changed between those 2 expressions? F of x and f of 2. What changed? It's a number. Where is the number? Is it where the f is or where the x is? The x is. Did you know what x equals in this case? X is going to equal 2. Now, there's 2 ways that you can solve this. The first way, you're going to plug it in, and that's going to be a really, really easy when you have an x value. When you have a y value, it's not as easy. So, does everybody have Desmos open? Yes, no, maybe? All right. In Desmos. Scoop up Desmos. Here's what you can do. You guys keep yours as is. So my equation says f of x equals 9 minus 4x, right? So what I'm going to write on, if I want to find f of 2, I will write something that's going to look like this. F of 2 equals. Anywhere you see an x, I'm going to replace it with a 2. But remember, whenever I replace any variable with a number, what must I put around that number? Parentheses. So does the 9 have an x on it? No, so I'm going to write that down. Does the negative sign have an X on it? Nope. What about the 4? Is that an X? Is the 4 an X though? No, careful. Is the 4 an X? No. So I'm going to keep the 4. Then what's next to the 4? An X. And I have to replace that with a 2, but I put what around it? Parentheses. So now we need to figure out what this equals. Well, what you can do is you can put that straight into decimals. 9 minus 4 parentheses 2. Just like a calculator, it's totally fine. So you plug it in, 9 minus 4 parentheses 2. So f of 2 equals 1. 1. Okay, so I'd write that down. Now I want to show you a different one. Okay, that's plugging in. So everybody stop typing. Look at my board. F of x, oopsies, I'm capital. F of x equals 9 minus 4x. That's my equation, right? That's my function. Now, what did you tell me x equaled? X equaled what? 2. So I'm going to come in here. I'm going to say x equals 2. What am I looking for? Where they what? Intersect. Now look where they intersect. 2, 1. If x is 2, my function value equals 1. Does it matter which way you do it? Absolutely not. Do you know why? Guys, don't type this in because I know how you do it. Do you know why I show you multiple ways? Some people like to plug it in. Others are like, I want Desmond to do the whole thing for me. Either way is going to be fine. Okay? Let's look here. We're going to do letter A. F of x equals 7x minus 1. Ready? Now, on Friday, you better have some work to be shown. Because if you don't show me anything, then it's going to be really hard for me to give you partial credit when we're going through things. All right. Now, I want to find f of negative 2, right? So I'm going to start off by writing f of negative 2 equals. You should always start off every problem. Now, either way, I don't care. You want me to plug in? Yeah? So, 7, keep or change? 7, keep. X change to what? Negative 2 in parentheses. Negative 1, keep or change? Keep. Now what are you guys going to do? Put it straight in the decimals, right? Plug it straight in the decimals. Either put the line in or plug it in like that. I don't care. Now, you cannot put f of negative 2 equals 7 parentheses negative 2 minus 1. That's where you got to be careful. If you're going to put it in, look at the previous example. Did I underline this whole thing? What did I only underline? This. If you're going to put it, evaluate it as is, you can only put the numbers into decimals. If you're going to use decimals as a graphing calculator, you need to put the entire equation in, maybe, and then set x equal to negative 2. You guys are good with this one, just do it this way. Plug it in. Plug it in. 7 parentheses 2 minus 7 parentheses negative 2 minus 1. Yes, sir, Mr. Duke. Which is what? Should be negative 15. Okay, I want f of 3 and f of 0 done right now, please. F of 3 and f of 0, please. Paper. We're going to come all the way down to letter F. Letter F. What's different about how I started letter F? I need to find x if g of x equals something, right? Now, do I know what x equals, or is that what I'm trying to find? I'm trying to find it. So if I don't know what x equals, what does that number represent? That's my y value. Okay? So here's what we're going to do. I'm going to copy my equation down. So g of x, is it negative 3x or positive 3x? Negative. Well, it's negative 3x plus 1, right? Agreed? What else does this problem tell me? What does g of x equal? 16. So I also know g of x equals 16. Now I have a question to ask you. How many equations do I have written on that board right now? 2. Whenever we have 2 equations, what do we always do? You put them into Desmos and you look for where they intersect. That's exactly what we're going to do. We're going to plug them into Desmos exactly as you see them. So g of x equals, is it negative 3x plus 1? And then, thank you, g of x equals 16, right? Okay, we have a problem. I only see one line. I only see one line. Right. So just because I don't see it doesn't mean it's wrong, right? Might have to zoom out a little bit, and that's okay. Now, guys, look up at my board, please. How many gray dots do you see here? You see 2. You see one there and one here. Which one is the intersection? The first point here or the second point? First point. So, time out. I know that they intersect at negative 5, 16, correct? Now, when we're going back to our problem, I want to know what x is. Which one of those 2 numbers is my x value? The negative 5. So you will write, as your final answer, you will write x equals what? Negative 5. Okay, let's look at g. What does g ask us? It says, find x if h of x equals 2. No, we're doing g.
I'm looking at h.
It's okay. Let's do g. Now, what is h of x? Can somebody read the equation for me? H of x equals what? 12 over x? 12 over x. This board is 12 over x. What else do I want to write? H of x equals 2. What do? Plug them into Desmos. This graph's going to look really funky. Totally fine. Just plug into Desmos and let Desmos do the work. It's going to look funky. You are not going to freak out if it starts looking funky. You're just going to do what you know how to do. Plug it in, let Desmos do the work for you. I mean, you can solve this if you want, but that's really not worth it. There's 21 times as many kids as adults. This one's going to mark it wrong, but just go through it and I'll fix it. What does x equal? X equals? X equals? What does x equal? 6. Sorry, I didn't hear you. X equals 6. What? Sorry, I couldn't hear you. X equals 6. Okay? I want you to do H. Do H right now, please. H. Put them into decimals, especially this one. And move in. So that's what x equals x squared plus 7. Do you see where I'm getting that equation from? Right up here. So I write f of x equals x squared plus 7. $23, right? Does your graph look like mine? You know why Braylon called me over? He said, how many times did it intersect? Twice. Did you do something wrong then? Not at all. If you have things that happen more than once, which is going to happen, I'm not going to kind of go into details why. We'll do that later with quadratics. Those are both your answers. So you need to make sure you write both of them down when you're doing your answer. So you're going to write x equals what? I'm going to do -4, comma 4. Now, you can write it like that as long as you don't put in parentheses. You can separate with a comma as long as you don't put it in parentheses. Yes? Easy? Today was easy, yes, I'm hoping. It was easy. You get my